Hello everybody, Daz here. Today is Friday. I have a time to work on my customer build. I'd like to make some nice progress together with you. But one major technical screwed up. I managed to put telephoto lenses on my camera, so it's stacked all the way to the wall, really far from me, and I am in a corner, and still the best I can show you is just not even like I can't even show a computer and myself together. So anyways, we'll see how overcomes that, but we'll do whatever we can do because I'm not going to drive home and change my lenses. I actually need to start working on the system. If you watched my previous episode, you saw that I completed my loop, but I actually have to redesign it. And the reason for that if you remember, I had this little awkward 180-degree turn from CPU to GPU, and when I start completing the loop, connecting all fittings, put all the rings in place, I noticed that if you kind of yank this portion of the tubing down, it's actually get disconnected. I think if I would make it for myself, I probably will just leave it as is, but because it's a custom build, I don't feel like 100% comfortable to have one point that potentially can create problem, because if you yank it, tons of liquid goes all over like power supply and everything. So I decided to change that part, and I put different type of set of fittings, and basically I did link from CPU to GPU as a one single 90-degree type of tube run. Also I had to do slightly angled 90-degree turn from the GPU area, so I can compensate for this little misalignment between the port, because I wanted to have a straight line from CPU down to GPU that's exactly parallel to the one that goes from radiator to CPU in. So we have one straight line, which is I think more visually pleasing, and I was able to achieve that. I think it's pretty good. All this convoluted construction will be hidden behind the graphical card, so it's not a big deal. Another thing that I had to do, and why the main problem was that everything was so close that I couldn't really find good combination of parts to connect between two. So in order to overcome that, I had to take my GPU and move it further away from the motherboard. So I moved from one set of slots to the next set of slots basically. So the GPU is sticking out a little bit more than I originally wanted, but I think it's less evil in terms of how more durable the whole setup is now. So now nothing will be pop up ever. So it's almost impossible, because one part always support others. So all tubing now jammed between fittings, and there's absolutely no issues here to have anything disconnected accidentally. Another thing that I did, I don't remember I told you or not, last time I completed all my wiring, so I showed you motherboard and GPU wiring last time, but I also put some cables for two HDDs that on the back, and I'll try to show you if possible. Yeah, so those two white ones, so it's in place now, and for the storage and movies or whatever my client would like to do, to use this as HTPC that will be attached to the wall. So this already in place, so basically no wiring left except to power up like pump and all this business, but I don't want to finish it right now because I actually need to run power from the external power supply when I'm going to pressure test it. One thing that I would like to try, today we get a new delivery from microcomputer, and there's a number of new products we receive from them, and one of them that Dr. Drop pressure tester thing. So I'm kind of curious as how this thing can help you to see if you have any potential leaks. I don't expect anything leaking here, to be honest, but nevertheless I just would like to see how it works. So before we're going to feel the system and verify everything in terms of connections and stuff like that, actually I will try to open this little package, assemble it, and make this pressure drop test before we're going to fill the system up. Alright guys, my camera almost under the ceiling, and that's how close it's still, so those pretty good lenses, but totally wrong for what we're doing right now. So let's see what kind of goodies we got here. Supposed to be like a pump thing. Yeah, let's put our air into the device, an actual measuring device is there. So here you go. It's only two parts as I see it. So that's what we connect. The pressure tester. Oh, not that difficult. Okay, so now I need to put a little piece of tube with a fitting connected to a reservoir. We pump it up and see if the pressure will drop or not, and that will indication if anything is wrong with maybe I forgot some stop plug or something like this, so it will definitely show up right away. Can you see the device? I hope you can. Pumping, action. I don't know how much I'm supposed to do. I will do 1.5. Holy shit! What's going on? Seem we're missing some pressure pretty well. Ha! Maybe it's here. Well, let's check this portion. If that's not it, maybe I need to look more carefully on other parts of this build to see what the hell else could be wrong. Let's see if that did any difference. Now it's supposed to be completely sealed. Same result. Well, I think good idea to check this device too, because I didn't even check if it was properly connected. Maybe it's losing right there. Who knows? But I'm puzzled. Alrighty. How about before going really crazy, we put stop plug on this thing and yeah, I think it's tight now. So device is good. Almost good. I think it's leaking right there. This connection is not that great. So to seal this, I probably need some Teflon tape or something like that, which I absolutely do not have. I'll check. If I found Teflon tape, maybe we can do additional testing, but other than that, I'll just fill the system up because it gives me nothing at this point. Well, kind of failure, but well, we'll see. Alright guys, I managed to tidy it up so it's almost not leaking. I think a little bit Teflon tape would fix it completely, but right now it's losing pressure a little bit. So we still can try to put in a loop, and if it will not be dropping faster than it's dropping now, I think that will be valid test. Alright, so remove the stop plug and put this thing back. Here you go. But I think if you cannot fix leakage 100%, the device has a limited use. Okay. I think it's dropping faster. Yeah. Well, for what it was, we'll proceed with filling up the loop, but we'll be triple careful this time. Put enough towels everywhere and absorption mats. Well, if it leaks, we'll find out pretty soon. If it's not, I guess this device a little bit not that useful. Alright, almost 4 liters. That's more than enough, a gallon. Also need power supply. Let's see, seems like it's working. And quick test for pump. Looks like it's heating something. What the hell? Okay, let's see. This goes later. Don't quite like this sound. It's not normal. I might need to check pump before I go in filling it up. Could be a bad impeller. It's not how it's supposed to sound. Alright, seems like telescopic lenses is helpful after all. I think we have extremely rare case that happens like once in 1,000, literally, that you have unbalanced impeller that doesn't spin properly and is hitting side of the pump. For that reason we heard this weird sound. Good that I checked it first. So I'll show you again. We'll try to power it up. So when pump is vertical position, it doesn't supposed to hit the body of the pump. It should be balanced right in the middle. But because it is not properly balanced, so it's hitting the side. It happens extremely in rare cases, but it happens. And we can see actually that pump already scratched a little bit of the body of the pump itself. So what I'm doing is not advisable. If you run it like this, you actually can create unbalanced impeller by running pump like this dry, because it gets really hot and you can damage this ceramic ring on top of it. So all you can need to do is do very brief test, like just start spinning and stop. That's okay. But like running it longer, it's not okay. I already ran it longer than I should, but I wanted to show you. That's the reason I'm doing this. So I have a spare impeller here. I'll put it in place and let's see how the other one will work. And that's your answer. So I don't do any more damage to the pump, more than I should do. So that's the thing. So something off with this impeller. Something is not centered, and that's what we get. Thanks God I caught it before. Interesting. With my luck to catch such thing, it's while doing live build. Woohoo! I need to buy lottery today, I think. Recently I started filling my loops just using old reservoirs that I have lying around. So what I will do here, just attach this extender fitting. I need like male version, so I have this one. And I'm screwing it on top of a reservoir. And instead of fiddling with tube and holding it, The whole structure is totally rigid, need to do nothing except of filling the reservoir itself. I'm trying to show you this portion, so unfortunately I can't zoom any further, but I guess you get the idea what's happening here. So let's just fill it up and monitor for any potential leaks and see if our pressure dropping tool indicated real trouble for us or just it was a little bit of bullshit. Here you go, half a liter, easily. Oh, I might want to have it here, so much easier. Holy moly, it was full reservoir and all I get this little thingy. That's because radiator is massive. But it's pretty easy process. Actually, I might move cam so you can see what's going on here. Because it's actually pretty cool. Oh, that's what I'm doing. Voila! Easiest feeling ever. Oh, I see some leakage from coolants. Are you kidding me? It looks like, oh maybe it's not coolant. Let's see what this. Yeah, it looks like this fitting is not tied up that goes into radiator. Hey, the tool was right. Cool. Oh, it's the best place to have something not right. Because it's no electronics here, nothing. So let's tidy it up. Zoom getting handy with every minute. So this fitting is not tied up to radiator. So we need to tighten it up a little bit. And for that, if you do it with pliers, you just will scratch it, and which you don't want to do. So like put something around, and then you can turn it without much trouble. I'll see if I can use this Velcro for that. Unfortunately, I can't really show you properly because with those lenses, there's no good angle to do so. So I'll just tighten it up. And for that, I basically need to block your point of view. Forgive me for that. But basically, again, if you have something that is not tied up and you need to do it in the process, if you cannot do it with your bare hands, which is kind of hard here because of how tight the place is and how big my hands are, you use pliers, but you always use protection so you don't scratch your fitting. If you care. If you don't care, you can just go ahead straight away. I think actually you might can see it. So I put Velcro around. Professional plumbers, they use piece of leather. I don't have any right now. And I can now tie it up. Oh, actually, yeah, it doesn't even can go anymore. I already did quarter turn before I put cam on, but right now you can see it's went to the very end. So I release this. No scratch in the paint, nothing. Just have mark my protection. You see, guys, it's easy to fix, and we'll continue with the filling process. Alright, so let's continue to monitor this for any more surprises. Hopefully not. Actually, this is such a massive reservoir, I don't even need to fill in anymore. For the testing purposes, when we complete the system, yeah, I want it full. But at this point, it doesn't really matter. I just want to run it with pump and see if any other place will leak. Because when you start running your pump, what's happening here is that you increase pressure in the system, so the any troubles, they will show. Right now it's no pressure in, so nothing could happen. So power supply. And let's go for it. Well, a little bit too many bubbles here, which I don't like because it's that recycling air, which I don't want to have. So what we'll do, I'll just pop up a little bit more liquid. Oh, holy shit! This was a big mistake. Major cleanup. The good thing that this can dry very easily. Okie dokie. I have a strong feeling that I should go home before something bad happens. I can tell you that I'm so lucky there are no components under this reservoir, because I need to dry nothing. If nothing gets spilled on GPU, nothing gets spilled on a motherboard. So otherwise, if we had a different type of scenario, I would have to disassemble the loop, dry entire system, and leave it over weekend probably, and just try on Monday. But because the only thing we spilled is radiator, which does better, and a little bit on the pump, but pump is fully sealed, so nothing will go inside, for sure. Quite confident about that. And we will continue. I swear to God, if anything else happened today, I quit. So let's run the system a little bit more and see if I get any leakage in this questionable area for me. Usually if you have a problem, it shows up right away. It's extremely rare that something showed up later. So while it's still a good idea to run computer for several hours to be absolutely sure, 99% of issues get known right away. So, and as I see so far, I don't think we have any immediate issue with anywhere, except that one fitting that I missed, and this major mistake I did as well. But other than that, yeah, pretty good. So you see, the big reservoir is a really nice thing to have to separation air from water. So it bubbles up and fast enough so nothing gets sucked back into the system. So we have only bubbles because it's not full. If we put it full, it wouldn't be no bubbles. But so far, I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm changing speed of the pump and it's pushing more air. You might see in that area that more air coming through. It's not really necessary to bleed system right now at all. But I'm also changing pressures because it's to put additional stress on the system, so I'm trying to see if maybe some other problems will pop up. But so far, I don't see any issues. I think it's pretty safe to drain the system and put a proper liquid in. Other than that, the system is close to be finished as it can be. This was one screwed up after another, starting from the lenses and ending with filling system up, but maybe you enjoy it. I'm kind of pissed more than happy, but it's done, which is a nice thing too. Thank you for watching and see you soon with the other stuff I'm making.